Hello, good morning. Okay, I think our lighting is good, finally, for once. Have a seat, join me. We are gonna start sitting. This practice today is designed to open up the hips, most importantly, or more specifically, the front of the hips, which is our hip flexors and the psoas, deep in the belly, which is intimately linked to our fear response to life, the fight, flight, freeze response of the parasympathetic or the sympathetic nervous system. So can you tell I have so much information I want to share with you? I'm like, that's the Gemini, me fast talking. So our full moon in Sagittarius is really boiling down to challenging your fear, looking at where your own fears are creating this narrative in your head that maybe prevents you from doing things you want to do, or seeking things that you want to seek and bring into your life, or just limiting you in any way. So Sagittarius is the fire sign of the wanderer, always looking to make new connections, being really open to traveling and receiving information from other perspectives, other people. So it's a beautiful energy. Gemini is an air sign about communication and in all the ways that we communicate, right? Through our life, through our body language, through our words, through even our own thoughts, right? It's all mental energy. So Sagittarius can remind us that if we stay open and hopeful, that we have this real good opportunity to shift the collective. So we'll also be looking at the practice with opening up our hip flexors, but opening up our hearts and opening up to face our fear in some challenging poses, and letting that keep us hopeful for a future that we want to see. So we'll also set our intention around this idea of looking past the illusions that we create in our mind to see a new vision for the future. So that's the short story of it. Find comfort in your seat. Heavy the legs, lighten up through the spine. Feel your pelvis shift forward so you're sitting upright with ease, and bring your hands to prayer in front of the heart. And if it's comfortable to close your eyes, go ahead and close your eyes. See your ribs expanding and letting the breath fill more fully. Not forcing your breath deep or broad, but just opening up the ribs. The lungs will take the space you give them. Organically breathing more open. And then if eyes are closed, start to generate this image of the future you want to see for the whole world. It starts with our own life, but look beyond your individual space in the world and see the change that you want to be part of. So we can start to direct our energy towards a vision of a future, of the future we want to create. So take some deep breaths there. As we widen the ribs, let that help widen our perspective. Sagittarius energy also helps us remember that things don't need to be labeled positive or negative, that they're just filed away as lessons. And that life is a perpetual journey of unraveling truths. So how are you feeling today? The full moon can pull us into seeing or light up where we are in the low vibrations of these signs, Gemini and Sagittarius. And that can be judgmental. It can be really harsh on ourselves, judging ourselves as well as prejudging others. We can be closed-minded or nervous, just having this anxiousness about fearful anxiety, right? Not being decisive or clear about who we are or where we want to go. That creates anxiety. Or being stuck in the infinite loop of your mind's rabbit hole. That's a low vibration of Sagittarius. Excess mental energy. The same with Gemini, that airy sign, that airiness can be really spacey, spaced out. So we're going to look to where we are in those spaces, where we also can get very self-righteous in our own information. We want to gather information to open up new ways of seeing and thinking, not be really stuck at one way of something we've learned before or something we believe to be true. That can really be a source of judging others if it's not the same, and a source of limitation as we, be or to adhere to one thing. So take another deep breath in. Set your own intention around these ideas. Being an eternal student, open to new information, new perspectives, challenging the fear, the narratives we create, and releasing our own judgments and righteousness to let our journey shift the collective for a brighter, better, equitable future. Big breath into your heart. And exhale, release the hands. So let's come into tabletop and start to move through some cow and cat, warming up the whole spine. I have a slanted room. I don't know which way is the better slant. So with cow, tuck the toes under, plant the hands firmly and spread the fingers, arching the back. Inhale, look up. Flatten the tops of the feet, round the back, heavy the head. Keep going with your rate of breath. Inhale, arch, look up. Exhale, round, look in. See if you can really open up the center of your body, the communication of all of your energy centers. Two more. Come to neutral spine. We're going to step the right foot forward. Lunge as much into your right side as your left hip feels good. Remember, our practice today is going to really be focusing on the front of the hips. Sagittarius rules the hips, the hip flexors. This is because we have, again, the psoas muscle deep in there, kind of wrapping a little bit. It just felt good to do that. Right? But the psoas, again, is going to be intimately linked to the first three chakras, are how we feel safe, right? Playing with our fear, the emotions of life, and how they drive our actions. That's the second energy center. And the third would be our identity, self-esteem, and confidence, right? Which help us find the courage to make those leaps of faith. So the psoas muscle can be really tight from being in the stress response or being fearful all the time. You don't have to physically flex your hip or flex your spine to your hip. That's the action of it, to have it be engaged. Right? So if your mind is in this fearful place all day, your psoas is firing without moving, and that stuck energy is what we're hoping to access, as well as flexibility in the muscle. We want the flexibility of the energy there to shift and move. Okay, Tuck your left toes under, float the left knee, right knee is stacked on top. Powerfully strong through your left hamstring. Press it up to the sky, push down into your right heel, and we'll twist the right arm up. Feel your right hip moving back and your left thigh lifting up, taking your gaze up to your right thumb if it's comfortable, down to your left if it's not. And then take a huge circle with your right arm, and then reverse that direction. And then exhale, bring your right hand down inside your foot, and crawl, left heel spins down, crawl your hands to the left. And again, press your left thigh back, push down into your right heel, tone your quads, and just stretch your torso over to the left. Lift your armpits, heavy your head, big breath here. Just getting really warm and heat deep in the hips. Inhale, walk yourself to center, frame up your right foot, lift your left heel, and then feel your heel and toes pull to each other. Hold yourself up, just firing up that right back of the leg. Big breath in, and exhale, lower the left knee. So heel and knee hug together, left toes can be under or flat, Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. Open the heart, lift the arms to the sky. You can lunge in deeper, but don't just collapse. Hold yourself up, hug your belly in, lift your ribs up, and pull them back, opening your chest. And then slowly cactus open your arms. Shoulder blades squeeze into the spine. Arms start to stretch long, fingers reach to the floor. And then exhale, frame your right foot. Step it back, downward facing dog. Take a moment, pedal yourself out. Just feel your center here. Nice engagement with the ground through both hands and your feet, creating this cycle of energy. Letting both heels press back. Feel your armpits lift up, lower belly pull up and in. Huge breath. Lifting the heels, soften the knee, step the left foot forward. Right knee comes down. Lunge in. Feel again the tension of your right hip flexor. Breathe into where you feel sensation. Lifting the heart. Toning through the lower belly. Feel guided to take your mind's eye into the lower belly. Can you feel the psoas stretching? Is it something that you can actually even access? I say that because I remember for a very long time, I didn't have a connection physically to that muscle. It's very deep. It lays on the front surface of your vertebra, lumbar vertebra, more importantly, the lowest portion of the spine. And it's on the front of the body. It's not a back muscle. Even though it's attached to the spine, it's on the front of the body. Heel and knee hug together. And then tuck right toes, float the knee, left side stacked up. Twist left arm up. Pull the left, like how far is the left hip swinging out? Pull it straight back, lift through the right thigh. Maybe lift your gaze. Breathe. Take a huge circle with your left arm, both directions. Right heel spins down to the left. Crawl your hands to the right. Press the right thigh back. Push down into your left heel. Lift your armpits, heavy your head. Real strong legs. Crawling back to center. Pick up the right heel. Lower the left knee. Anjaneyasana, arms lift. Pull you all the way up. Heel and knee hug together to lunge more forward. Arms hug down into the sockets. Shoulder blades into the spine, down the back. Ribs in to lift up. Open your heart. Cactus open the arms. Slow descent of the fingers toward the floor. And then exhale, frame your left foot. Pick up the right knee and step it back. Downward facing dog. Take a nice, big, deep, slow breath here. And then inhale, walk or hop or step to the front of the mat. Soften the knees with a straight spine. Inhale all the way up, reach overhead. Exhale, hands to prayer at the heart. Ooh, my head's chopped up. It's nice and warm in here. Okay. Let's see if I can just make this more computer friendly. There we go. Now some of my head's at least in there. Inhale, reach out and up. Soften the knees to fold with a flat back. Get the legs nice and straight, the spine straight. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale, right foot back, right knee to the floor. Inhale, forward and up, Anjane. Exhale, frame the left foot. Step it back, plank pose. Big breath in. Exhale, lower the knees. Squeeze the shoulder blades to lower the chest. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, downward dog. Lovely buffalo in here. 2 more breaths. Lift the heels, soften the knees, look forward. Right foot steps forward, left knee down. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands frame the front. Step forward, soften the knees. Inhale, rise with a straight spine. Hands to prayer into the heart. Take a moment. Thighs press back, hips on heels. Hollow out the lower belly. Take that energy all the way through the spine, out the crown. Deepen your breath. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, soften the knees to fold with a straight spine. Inhale, legs straight, spine straight. Exhale, right foot steps back. Low lunge, heel and knee hug together. Twist left arm up. Keep your left arm twisting up. Lower the right knee. You can keep right toes under if you want. Heel and knee hug together. See how that brought my hips underneath me more? And then left arm's gonna lift you up in this open arm twist. Maybe you lunge in a little bit deeper. Right hand can come to the leg and help anchor your twist. Or you can just keep the arms to T, focusing on the rib cage, twisting open. Inhale, arms overhead. Anjane, lunge in a little deeper. Ribs hug in to lift up. Cactus. Arms stretch down. And then frame up the front foot. Step it back. Downward facing dog. Huge breath. And then inhale, lift the heels, soften the knees, step the left foot forward, hip width apart, heel and knee. This is the same foot, that's not what I wanted. Step it back, right foot forward, heel and toes hug together. Twist up. Keep your twist, left knee comes down, hug the belly in, right arm lifts you up. Open arm twist, feel the right hip underneath, pulling back. You can take your left hand to the knee as an anchor, but try to just use your core. Stretch the arms open. Maybe you lunge in a little bit deeper. Inhale, arms forward and overhead, Anjaneyasana. I'm gonna give myself a little bit more space to reach the ribs up and lean back. Cactus, reach for the floor. And then softly exhale, step it back, downward facing dog. Huge breath. Starting to feel a little bit warmer in the legs and the hips. Lift your armpits, strengthen the shoulders. And then inhale, walk, step, hop, front of the mat. With straight legs, bow and fold. Soften the knees with a straight spine. Inhale all the way up. Hands to prayer to the heart. Take a moment. Find the reflection here in a Samastitihi equal stance. Feeling the ground. Foundational aspect to all of everything is to be grounded, to be rooted. All right, we'll do that one more time, adding on. Inhale, reach out and up. Soften the knees to fold with a straight spine. Hands touch down, legs press straight. Spine gets straight. Exhale, deepen the hinge. Inhale, look forward, flat back. Exhale, step the right foot back, knee to the floor. Twist. I already screwed us up, but that's okay. Left arm's gonna lift us up, and then left arm can drop to the left or right leg. Right arm lifting up, leaning back. And you can lunge into it more. Find left shoulder blade squeezing in, right arm extending and reaching open. Big breath in. Exhale, cartwheel the hands. Step it back, downward dog. Huge breath. And then step the left foot or right foot forward. Yes, there we go. Left knee down. I don't do this a lot. Right arm twists up. Now you know why. And then let the right arm pull you up. Release right hand to left thigh. Left arm lifts up. Lunge in deeper if it's comfortable. Shoulder blades squeeze in. Feel the expansion and reach. Again, what are we releasing? To release all of that fear, judgment. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, step it back. Downward facing dog, huge breath. Lift the heels, soften the knees, step the right foot forward, spin the left heel down, come up to warrior two. So find a distance of your feet that help you feel long in your stance and strong in your body. Spin the inner left thigh to the midline, outer thigh, right thigh out. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be one of those days, sorry. The words are just scrambled in my mind. So feel your feet, pull into the hips. Make sure your hips feel open in a strong and powerful way. Floating the arms open to T. Send your gaze over the right hand. You feel the power of your warrior spirit coming to the surface. Feel the length of your neck opening up. A gaze to the front hand as a representation of being very clear in our energy directed forward. We find new perspectives from other people, other ways of living, other cultures to help shape our own perspective and create something new. A new world. We're going to take right forearm to the thigh and take the left arm straight forward. Now tack the hips to the left. We shift them on an angle and press down into your right leg to lift your ribs up. And lift your lower belly up. Pull your left armpit back, helping to open the twist, then slide your left arm over ear. So we have that nice diagonal long line. Hug the right shoulder away from the ear. Strengthen your legs. Feel the power of your lower body assisting the opening of your upper body. And then reach through that left arm, remembering what we're reaching towards. Clarity in where we judge ourselves. Clarity in how fear creates a narrative in our head that is maybe not truthful. So we can break through those limiting self-afflictions. Take another breath. All right. Left hand comes to the hip. I'm going to slide my right foot back because I know I don't have space, but we're going to stretch the right hand diagonal from the pinky toe on a block or the floor. Look down and then pop up the left leg for half moon. And then tone the quads strong. Press through both heels. From again, your right sit bone carving to the midline. We're opening up the hips to the left. Maybe left arm floats up. Breathe. Option to bend the left foot, grab the arch, and kick into your hand to extend it up. Release the left foot. Release the left hand. Plant the hands, find standing split. You didn't do too much hamstring stuff, so let this be gentle in a way of opening up the hamstring. Maybe the right hand grabs and massages or pulls you in. Hi, Georgie. And then staying in standing split, or really rooting the hands down and coming into this idea of looking at our fear and pushing through it. You can keep your hands close to your foot and just lift your right heel. It puts a lot of weight in your hands and it's scary. Or maybe you can keep your hands close to your foot, grip your fingertips and really keep the arms straight, bending the bottom leg and letting the left leg maybe lift and hop. You might do that a couple times. Find a little hover. If you have a wall close by, maybe you push past your fear a little bit more because you know the wall is there to catch you. Just get a little upside down and push past that fear. Okay? And then take your time, stepping to the front of the mat, legs straight, belly toned, heavier hinge. Take a moment to feel the energy come back to yourself. Folding in, breathe deeply. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale, step to downward dog. Take a moment. Feel your body, your breath. Releasing the head. Tuning into what's present in the mind here. Have those questions opened up some contemplation and receiving any answer. Lift the heels, soften the knees, look forward, exhale, left foot steps, warrior two. So, distance of the feet that feels strong and open. See if the hips can level each other and open to the long edge without taking a left knee. Inward spiral back thigh, outward spiral front thigh. That energy is moving us forward. Take the gaze over the left arm. Settle into your warrior stance and then feel that energy lifting, opening up the communication of all of your energy centers. See your future. Feel your strength. Left forearm to the thigh, right arm straight forward. Shift the hips. Push into your leg, lift yourself up. Keep the right thigh back. And then pull your armpit back, open your twist, spiral the right arm diagonal out of your shoulder, creating that long line of energy. What are we reaching towards? You don't need your vision for balance. Maybe close your eyes as you ask, what am I reaching towards? Right hand to your hip. Coming into half moon, I have to scoot myself back here. Left hand diagonal from the big pinky toe. Right leg pops up. And my hip cracks. Press through both heels. Really feel your left sit bone carving in as you twist open. Right arm can lift. Really feel the power of your shape. Opening your whole
body. And then if you want the Chakasana variation, or the Chandra Chakasana, bend the top leg, grab the arch, press into your hand and expand it. Open yourself up. What's a different perspective? Maybe somebody has a new way of seeing the world that helps you, that you didn't see before. Very gently release standing split. Both hands come down. Crawl closer to the left foot. Think nose to knee. Help. You didn't do too much. You didn't do really any. Let this be our hamstring opening. Rub it. Squeeze it. And then staying in your pants or standing in your standing split or anchoring the hands, the fingertips, arms straight, lift the left heel. It's really scary to keep your hands close to your foot and get up onto the toes. Push that edge, challenge the narrative. And then you can maybe hop. Get a little playful. Right? Maybe you laugh, maybe you crash and fall, and you pick yourself back up. Try again. Whew. And then forward fold. What feels good as you fold and swaying a bit. Give yourself a moment, folding into yourself, coming back to a place of slower breaths. Right. Inhale, rise with a straight spine, reaching overhead. Hands to prayer, into the heart. Take a moment. Feel your center. Hips on heels. Everything rising up. All right. We're going to step the feet wider than hips width. I'm going to do this way because I want to block. Have a block close by. And then toes angled out. We're going to slowly come down to our yogi squat. So press your thighs back. Pull up from the ground. Let your thighs go back, lead the way. See how my tail is lifted. And then with hands in prayer, we're going to very slowly keep the heels pushing down, belly pulling in, bringing the elbows inside the knees. This isn't working for you. How can you come into a squat? Maybe you're not low. Maybe your knees are, or your hips are not lower than your knees. Or again, a block. You sit right up on the block. Or two blocks. Releasing on the block, my feet go a little bit more forward. Let your elbows and knees press into each other to help your spine sit a bit taller. Feel your breath traveling into your bottom ribs by focusing on your bottom ribs, pulling away from the spine. And then slide your left arm down your leg, hand to the floor, and twist the right arm up. And switching sides, right arm comes down. Inhale the left arm up. Bring your elbows inside the knees, hands back to prayer. Squeezing into yourself. Right. Push into your feet if this feels okay for you. You'll lift off the block. And then let your arms lift you up to stand. Take your arms as wide as your feet. Feel like you are a 5-pointed star. Thighs are pressing back. Energy is squeezing in from all directions as you're expanding outward from your center in all directions. Feel that pulsation of opposite energetic movement your feet and your hands. Hug your arms and legs into the sockets. And let your heart energy rise up from there. Your head might drop back a little bit. And come back up to center, hands to heart center. Bring your feet in hip width. And then we're going to take right ankle over left knee into figure four. This way, my ground is uneven. Feels very awkward. That's okay. So flex your right foot. You can bring your hand there. Maybe you're lifted. Maybe you're low. Doesn't matter where your torso is in relation to your hips. Just try and see if you can square your hips and keep your right sit bone lifting up from the floor. So it's not like this. When you find level, it's going to bring in your deepest and most beneficial stretch with that alignment. And the spine is long and lifted out of your hips. Breathing into your right rotators. Okay, so we have another opportunity here to push through our fear into an arm balance. But we're going to start with a twist. So bring your right elbow to your right foot. If this works, left hand comes up. Opening the twist. If this isn't great, you can just bring your prayer hands inside the arch of your foot and then twist. So you decide where your twist is good. Back up to center. Take your right knee up with you. Stabilizing with your left psoas, energizing with your right psoas. Pick the right knee up higher than your hips width, or hips height. All right. Ooh. Step down. Shake, shake, shake. Other side. Step into your right foot. Left ankle, right knee. Figure four. Flex your left foot. So it feels a little bit stickier. Breathe into your sensation. Press into your ball now. What are the hips doing? You feel like the unevenness of my floor is really messing with me here. So left hip bone lifting up. Chest open, spine long. We're going to start to twist. So, can your left elbow come to the arch of the foot? Right anchor it, palms come up to prayer. If not palms in prayer, on the arch of your foot. Find your drishti point. Keep the mind engaged and present. See if you can take the shoulder blades down the back. Squeeze through the neck. And then inhale, come on up. Left knee comes with you. Stabilize. Right psoas. Energize left. Pull that knee up higher. Step. Shake, shake, shake. All right. We're going to add on to that option. Try it. Okay. Step into your right foot. Left ankle, right knee, figure four. Hands to prayer. So same option if you want. Taking a twist. Let's see if I can do it this way. So with the tricep in the arch of the foot, I'm not sure I'm going to even get into this today. For grasshopper, hands come to the floor and see you're going to step on your tricep. Look forward, pick up your bottom foot, extend it to the sides. You can get parallel to the ground. Ooh. And then back down. It's been a hot second since I've done that. So this is actually nice. I brought myself down into toe stand with the figure four. You might try pushing past fear, standing here, lifting the arms. And then hands can come down, come back up. Finding your figure four. And then release. Step, step, check. Step, check, shake. All right, let me switch myself around. Try it on the other side. Although that's a little downhill for me. So I'm not going to do that. Just going to make myself have some room. Right, left ankle, right knee. Hands to prayer. Figure 4 chair. Staying or twisting. I have to kind of help my elbow get into the crook of my foot. Hands come down. Shoulder width. You're going to bend the elbow so you have a shelf. My right thigh is keeping my left foot attached there to lift. Woo. I lost my focus. Changed my gaze. Elbows started staying right on the wrist. And then maybe we find this little toe stand. Keep your foot flexed. The pinky toe is stuck. There we go. And maybe you don't need your hands on the floor. Woo. And then we'll come back up. Root through your foot. Flex your left foot. Come on up. Find that standing balance. And step it down. Shake it up. Okay. Whew. That was a lot. Take a moment in Samastitihi again. Feet together, hips width. Feel your breath, the floor beneath you, the rise of energy up and through you. Revisit your specific intention. How did it go? Pushing through fear. What narrative popped up? What did you say to yourself? Was it detrimental to your behavior, right? To your effort in the action, or was it beneficial? Challenge the fear. Float the eyes open. We're just going to come to sit. And actually, let's come to downward dog. That's a better idea. Go this way. Stretch the hips up and back. Lift your armpits to heavy your head. Maybe shake it out a bit. And then we'll take right knee outside the wrist for pigeon. Point your right toes. Bring your left leg down and back. Then peek over your right shoulder and see how that brings your left hip a little more forward. Peek at your leg, it's straight, ankles neutral. Come back to center. Click as many toenails into the mat as you can. And squeeze your thighs together. And we'll lift the ribs up and curl open. Maybe your hands walk back. And then find neutral spine. Chin pulls in, ribs pull in. I'm going to lift my seat or my sit bones to fold with a straight or neutral spine. Come down as low as you want. Try not to round your back to come down. Use props under your elbows or stay up on your hands. Keep action in your legs. Bowing down. Close the eyes. If that's a comfortable place for you, breathe into your sensation. Keep the left toes crawling back. Feeling space in the front of the left hip. And now we're stretching mostly the right rotators, the back of the hip. Stay engaged with breathing into the left hip flexor, the left psoas. My right heel is really close to the hip point, my left hip point, and I can kind of lean in and let my right heel push into the belly, push into the iliopsoas muscle junction. Accessing information. Is that area of your body stuck, sore? Is it a dead zone? Can you even feel it? I'm going to option to add on a twist here. So you come up onto your hands. You're going to thread your left arm under your right. You can have a block for your head here. And keep your right hip down. Left shoulder comes down. You can prop up your head. I'm pulling my left shoulder away from my neck. Right hand's going to anchor the hip. Staying there to roll more open. Or the right arm can lift. Reach around the back. Potentially grab the foot. Feel like your right sit bone is moving back. Hip staying down to twist. And if you don't like the twist, come back to center. Slowly unwrapping your twist. Right hand comes around. Push into your right hand to slide the left arm out. And we're going to really open into the left hip here. So I have the flexibility. My right hip is pretty much grounded. If your right hip is not grounded, you're going to prop it up with a block so that you can ground your right sit bone down onto some surface. Lean into the right a bit. Right hand stays down. Grab the left foot. And then try to bring your chest front again. You can push your foot into your hand. Relax and pull it in. Do that again. Push your foot into your hand. Relax, pull it in. Do that again. Push, relax, pull it in. Maybe you get a lot more distance there. Trying to keep my hips square to the front of the mat, shoulders square to the front of the mat. Maybe your toes can slide in your elbow and your right arm can lift. I don't have anything close to clasping the hands where they sometimes are. I'm just gonna, that hurt my knee a little bit. Quad there, quad attachment. So just trying to maybe find your mermaid expression. The crook of your foot in the elbow, hands clasping. Or not. Slowly coming out, release the left foot. We're gonna bring the left knee closer to the right foot, crawling in. Very, very, very slowly. And then slide the right foot to the back of the mat, open the knee, toes on the floor, heel pressing back. Spin your left shin and your right heel to the left, root into the whole shin of your right foot, inhale the right arm up. And then take your left hand a little forward of your shoulder, and then bring your arm up into your neck, right hand's on the hip, so like left arm. Lifts, the side gets really long. Squeeze your shoulder blade into the spine and then push the floor away. So we have real strong articulation. Right arm's gonna bow overhead and maybe you're on your right foot and you can just take the left knee up. And you can cross figure four here again. Lifting through your left hip. And you can slide in here a little bit. And finding downward dog. Second side, left knee outside the wrist for pigeon, right leg's gonna crawl back. Point your left toes, come up on fingertips, peek over your left shoulder. Feel how that brings your right hip forward a bit, squaring it. Peek in, everything looks long and engaged and neutral. Come back to center. And lift up out of the right hip. Lean back, curl open. Chin comes in, ribs pull in, neutral spine to fold. Finding your depth. Even though we're hinging here, Feel that you can breathe and focus on your right hip flexor, even though our sensation is mostly left rotators. Stay connected to your right psoas. And your breath. Hi, George. I don't know if you can hear his sweet prayers, but he's a talker. He's a talker. Hi, buddy. All right, we're going to take the twist if you want. Right arm goes under left. Shoulder down. You can grab a block for your head. Now just wrap your right shoulder out of your neck. Left hand to the top of the thigh. Keep it anchored down. Press your toes into the mat. Feel your left sit bone carving into the tailbone. Left arm can lift up. Or wrap the back. Maybe catch your foot. Feel like your left hip is heavy. The roll is from the anchoring of your arm to squeeze left shoulder blade into the spine. Pushing my right arm into the mat. Even my right leg really anchored in the ground. The low vibration of Gemini is not feeling grounded. It's spacey, too much mental energy, the air sign. So feel your root here, reaffirm the connection down. Gently unwrap. Bring your left hand down, your right arm out. Prop up the left hip if you need to. So you feel really grounded in your left sit bone. So cute. And then bend into your right knee. Grab the foot. Left hand keeps you balanced. Try to square your chest more forward. Press your foot into your hands. Pull it in. Push. Release. Pull. One more time. Push. Release. Pull. Find a good sensation. Maybe you can get the foot into the elbow. I'm sticky. Left arm might lift. Wherever, not important to, push yourself over the edge, but try to find that edge. And then what's determining the edge? There's a bit of fear in there. And some fear has valid aspects to it, right? It keeps us safe. But it can keep us very small as well. Right foot comes down, crawl the right knee in. That was intense, so moving very, very slowly. Left leg slides back, toes under, press through the heel, open the knee. Right hand forward of the shoulder, spin right foot, shin, left heel to the right, open up. So you can stay here. Or get long on the right side of the body, shoulder blade in, push the floor away. Right hand, left foot can root down, and you float up. Left arm can go overhead. You can take figure four. Lifting from your right hip. And you can bend your left knee, cross right over left. Take a little space here. And then downward facing dog. This is our last one in class today. Enjoy it. Spread through the fingers, anchor the whole palm. Lift your armpits, heavy the head. Follow out the lower belly. Reach the heels back as the tail's lifting up. Lift the heels, soften the knees. Bring the knees down. Crawl forward to lay on your back. We're going to do 3 rounds of a back bend. And you can do then a 4th bridge. We're going to do 3 bridges. You can do a 4th bridge or maybe wheel. So knowing that, have a block close by. You might want it at one point, either squeezing between the knees or propped underneath you, but come onto your back. Set the feet hips width, anchored. Work your shoulder blades in and underneath you. See how that arches the back. Keep the back arched. First bridge is going to be our longest. Inhale, rise up. Do anything you want with your arms to work them more underneath you so the ribs can get more vertical. Find your breath. Maybe eyes can soften down. Really feel in this sort of back bend from a supine position on our backs that we're using the energy of rooting down into the ground and rising up from there. Feel the whole front line of the body lifting to the sky, shining to the world, right? Open. Three more breaths. Exhale, slow descent, sit bones lead the way. Take a moment and pause. Maybe your shoulders come a little bit more out from underneath you. Big breath. All right, roll the pelvis forward, wiggle the shoulders in and under. Inhale, lift your bridge. Feel the ground as your root to rise. Feel your breath pulsating through your whole body. Exhale, slow lower. Don't flatten the lower back. Take a moment, a pause. Feel, right? Back bends are very energizing. Notice how it's affecting you today. All right, third bridge. Anchor the feet, roll the pelvis forward, wiggle the shoulders in and under. Inhale to rise. Where are the arms the most beneficial this round? Exhale, slow lower. All right, as we pause here now, start to think. Do I want a 4th bridge? Do I want a block under my sacrum for 4th bridge? Or am I going to go flexible all the time? Feeling pretty good so far today for it, so I'm going to go for it. If you want to follow me, you're going to take the hands outside the shoulders. And I know I have very tight shoulders, so I like my hands a little wide, right? But they can be, close to the shoulders even if they're wide, right? As opposed to further back, right? You want them pretty close to your body. Feel like your palms are anchored, right? We're gonna lift the hips, lift the ribs, push into the hands and take the top of the head to the mat. Then unplug your arms and plug them in. Feel this articulation of the shoulder by hugging your armpits in. Roll to the more hairline of your skull and then push up. I go right to my toes. It just feels better in my lower back. If you're up, you can push your chest through your arms. Pulse it a couple times. Helping to open the shoulders, chest, and then chin to chest. Slowly coming down. Head, shoulders, ribs, hips. Whew. Pause, feel, breathe.
Let that reverberate through your whole being. All right, we're going to end with 2 twists. So let's see. Let's start with right ankle, left knee, figure 4. Left hand to the right ankle. We're going to drop the figure 4 to the left, and you can crawl your left foot anywhere. To the right for less sensation, left hip. To the left for more. So work your left leg somewhere that feels good in this hovering of the right hip. Okay, but keep your ankle attached to your thigh. I like to then lift from my elbows, my ribs, and take them square on the mat. Took them a little left as well. So find your way into this now foundation where your right knee can be up and your right hip just hanging off the body there. You can push into the floor a bit through left pinky edge, right sole. And then the right hand's going to help open up the iliopsoas. Right? Thumb in is where the iliopsoas is. So you can feel the bone of your pelvis. Go medial to that, towards the spine. And I'm just kind of squeezing, digging the thumb a little bit, but do it very slowly and mindfully because, again, these muscles are intimately linked to our fight, flight, freeze response, the sympathetic nervous system. So it might have a lot of sensitivity. It might have trigger points. It might unlock emotion. Remember, the energy of the hips in general is emotions, amongst other things, but it's the house of emotions. So as we feel around, be very gentle and nurturing with yourself. If you feel a good spot, hang out there. Breathe, connect, ask the questions. What am I afraid of? And how is that driving my actions or, blocking me from acting? What is my fear creating the stories in my head? Where does the over analytical mind taking over? What sparks and triggers my contemplation down a rabbit hole, the darkest places of your mind? Knowing these things can help transform our fear into action. Right, we're going to let the right arm expand anywhere on the mat, open palm. And if it goes overhead, feel like your shoulder blade stays down the spine. Again, just feel the body soften into the shape now. Little action down into the floor through the feet. We're going to come into the second version of the twist on the side. So push into your right foot. Get your left foot to the mat to lift your left knee up. Arms more to T. I'm going to be my elbows because I don't have space, but your arms can be out on the ground. And I'll lift my hips to the center of my mat. Right leg is crossed over left. Now bring your hips off center to the right and let your knees lower to the left. Your left hand can guide the right knee down or heavy it. I'm just balancing on my feet because my knees don't touch. But feel like your hips are in line with the spine or the head, right? So that's why we move them to the right first. And then you can gaze out to the right. We have Georgie boy here. Kitty boy. Looking over the right shoulder. Heavying your twist. Give the thighs a gentle hug together. And then pulling them back, which arches my lower back. Brings in more freedom on the SI joint here on the right. And you felt more comfortable in the lumbar spine. Take a huge breath there. And then come back up to center.
Unwrap the legs, bring your hips to center, and just pause on your back again. Shoulders are anchored, bottom ribs, and sacrum, but not the lower back. Figure 4, left ankle over right. Right hand to the left ankle. Drop to the right. Work your right foot. Now you can pull it back for less, pull it up for more. Get your shoulders square on the mat. Try to find a good place. Heavy the left side. Left hand. Slowly nurturing kindness to the left iliopsoas. Let your shoulders heavy, so my left side holds a lot more emotion. I know that about myself, so I already felt my shoulders started to stress out. The idea of my thumb poking around in there. So tune into your jaw, where you might be gripping as you give a little self-care into the left hip. Use your breath. Right, left arm, open palm anywhere on the mat. Feel like your shoulder blade stays down the back. And again, little action in the feet to let the left hip hang. Hang and release. Full moons are about release. We have to find an understanding first. How am I attached to my fear? And what can I do to help release the fear's grip in the body? Breathe more fully is one answer to that question. Feeling more grounded is another. Let your contemplation open up for your own benefit of finding more answers to that question. How can I release fear from my body? All right, right foot comes to the mat. Right knee lifts up to the left, arms out to T. Pick up your left leg. Bring your hips to center first and just get your legs crossed. Step into your right foot. Take the hips to the left to roll down to the right again. So now the right hip is in line with your head. Right hand can heavy the legs or not. Looking over your left arm. Gentle hug of thighs together. Pull them back. Heavy down to the mat. And inhale slowly back to center, unwrap. Bring the hips center line. Take a moment and pause and bringing my hands down on my lower belly. Just connecting to the sacral chakra. The expansion of the ribs, letting the diaphragm pull into the lower belly. Taking any other finishing poses if you want. You're starting to find your way into Shavasana. Feel like your feet are a little bit wider than the hips. Sacrum is anchored. Ribs are anchored, space between the floor and your lower back. Arms open, palms, shoulder blades flat under the heart, chin into the throat, heavy down, let go. Take a moment to take a few conscious, slow breaths, scanning the body for resistance. The resistance in the body is a construct of your mind. So maybe a visualization of release, of heavying your body, of letting go. See it. And then hopefully feel it. Each breath bringing you more and more connected to the ground. Bring your awareness back to the ground underneath you. Mother, endless support there. Always a place to find connection and source and strength. Feel your lower ribs widen as you deepen your breath. Awaken with small movements of wiggling fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. Inhale the arms overhead and stretch out of your center and expand, and think of that as pushing past your fear, expanding to new perspectives, to learning, to unlearn and grow. Feel that expansion. And hug your knees in. Give yourself a big squeeze. Give yourself a loving embrace for coming to your mat, for tuning in to all that you're feeling and thinking, to again learn and unlearn, to transform. Roll onto your right side. Take a moment there. Feel the energy drop into your right side, to the masculine side of fire, of action, of rational thinking, of doing, of moving forward, of asserting yourself in the world in a way. Come back to your intention. What action can you take today? What can you commit to in the next year that will benefit the world, the community, the collective? And then slowly press yourself to sit. Grab a prop. Make yourself comfortable. Feel the prop is helping you roll the pelvis forward to sit upright. Bring the hands to prayer in front of the heart. Soften the gaze inward if it's comfortable. Take a moment to notice how you feel, body, mind, spirit. What has changed since we first came to the mat? Picking up those differences is evidence of your power in creating change. Know that you are an agent of change. You're never stuck. The only things that are potentially limiting you are constructs of your own mind, your fear. Find the courage and the fire to push past it. Break through the illusion caused by your own fear. Fear, in an acronym, false evidence appearing real. Break right through that and redirect your energy towards a positive vision of the future you wish to live in. We can come together and provide that for each other if we understand the power we have to do it. Take a big breath into your heart. We all want connection. Kitty came right in here and curled up in my lap. So thank you for joining me today in this practice. I'm forever grateful for our connection. And the light in me sees, honors, respects the light in you. To you I bow. Namaste. I don't want to move and disrupt this cute little boy. Blessings to you on this full moon. Remember, it's a time of release and learning and unlearning. So have fun with it. Be inspired. Be the change you wish to see.